Boom, we are live, baby, live. At Pub Sports Radio, NCAA, Net Profit. It's Friday, February 18th. It's Friday, Max. We got a massive Saturday, but I always like these Friday cards to pick a few spots and hit them up. But before we get into your line moves for this quick one, at first, tell me how your night was last night, my man. You mute?
Yeah, no. Obviously, it's a bad internet day in Canada. We're having a 2-day snowstorm, so Rogers is gonna have to owe me a little bit of a credit because I'm gonna be on the phone, harassing them. And if I don't get what I want from the first customer service agent, I'm gonna speak to a supervisor, and then second level, then third level. I do not like this, but I'm glad to be here with you, Connor. I'm glad to have some college basketball on a Friday. And while a lot of so-called college basketball cappers see a Friday slate as a day to rest up and to work towards the big Saturday slate, no, I'm sorry. Shooters shoot, and I gotta shoot. It's called fucking with your eyes open 101. I know how to do that shit. There's some people in the chat that know how to do it. You know how to do it, and I'm hungry for Gus's money. I'm on a 3-day winning streak. I'm making back that coin.
I like to hear it. Not for me. This has been my week, Max, for college basketball. Just even. Just I'm waiting though. So hopefully I have a good Friday or it's Saturday. Usually that's a good sign. Hasn't been horrible. Haven't been. It's just been pretty average. Every single day. And I'm gonna have a good one because I'm about to bust loose, and it's pissing me off. I'm not in a good mood, but it is Friday, and I'm in a better mood than I'm on the show now. That we can get rolling. Let's before we get into the games, we're gonna go right top to bottom on these short Fridays. Shout out to Kyle, my man, right here. $10 dono. This is the shit I'm talking about. Great guy. Thanks for the dono, man. We need it. Big Show, hit it. Hit the. Bang, bang. Love it. Shout out again to Kyle, man. You're the man. Appreciate you. All right, Max. Give me some line moves from last night to today. Size and totals. Tell me what's caught your eye here, brother.
Yeah, listen, we got a game that's popping off right now. Butler St. John's. That side went from St. John's -9 to as low as 7 or 7.5 at closing. So good to point that out. We have seen a little bit of a move in pretty much all the games. I think that going down the board, Northern Kentucky and Detroit, we've seen a slight move towards the under from 137 to as low as 135.5. We've also seen a pretty slight move towards Ryder in the Monmouth game at Monmouth, where they open up as 8.5-point favorites, and that's down to as low as 6 right now, with Monmouth possibly not having Shavar Reynolds Jr. in the lineup tonight. Marist and Siena, we've seen a move to the opposite direction that I anticipated, with the total 133 to as low as 131.5. That may be based off last time's game between these two, but Siena at home is a little more effective and efficient offensively. When we do go to the Ivy League and to the League of the Privileged, I will say that Princeton, a very privileged bunch, went from -1 to as high as 2.5 right now on the road after playing a 2-point game last time out against this Brown team. Going down the board, we go down to Columbia and Harvard, where we've seen a 142 opening total to as high as 146 right now. So definitely some love for points in that game. And obviously with the Cornell-Dartmouth game, it's hard not to see a line move towards the over in a game involving Cornell. That line opened at 143.5 and is now as high as 146.5. Looking at some of the rest of the games on the slate, especially at that 7 o'clock hour, it's important to note that Fairfield and St. Pete's game has gone up and down. got as high as 126, is back down as low as 124 right now. So we are seeing the underbettors starting to chime in on this game and the line moving because of that. Going to Ohio and Kent State in the MAC. This is a big revenge game for Kent State. They lost by 8. Now they're playing their best basketball of the conference year. And if they want to catch first place, they're going to have to win this game tonight. We have seen this total go from 134.5 to 138 at its highest, and probably is the right move. Kent State's also gone from a 1-point favorite to a 2-point favorite. Going down the board, Connor, and obviously we have a shorter board. Richmond and VCU, the capital city crosstown rivalry. I don't know what the hell the name of the game is. 130.5 to 133.5 on the total. Very interesting move there. I think that we should see points. Hopefully we see points early. When we look at the game in the SEC, which is just pretty ugly. You know, we've seen Mississippi State go up to as an 11.5 point favorite when they opened up at 10.5. Not much of a move, but if you are betting favorites, every point counts once you get past that 9.5 point threshold. And to cap it off, Connor, I'll just talk about one more game. I'll talk about Purdue Fort Wayne, not IPFW, as the whole betting community likes to refer them to.
Fort Wayne.
It's Purdue Fort Wayne, PFW. You know, you can get that shit on the back of your head at the barber shop. You could freaking start a gang called PFW. You know, it would all stick. But IPFW, that's no more. So God bless the gambling sites for keeping us stupid. But not me and not you guys. Speaking of that game, Connor, sorry for my mini rant there. Wisconsin Green Bay's total went from 130 to as high as 133.5, and that would mean that Purdue Fort Wayne is going to be putting up a big number. But are they having a situational letdown?
Yeah, that one is interesting. Anything else? Was that it?
Is my internet not working?
No, you're good. I can see you. I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear, my guy. Can you hear me?
I think he's on a little bit of a delay.
Okay.
I think you're good. If not, we'll bounce you out
because
here
you're frozen
in a
on
sec.
my screen.
I'm moving on mine. How do I look? I think I'm flowing. All right, let's go on and get into the games here.
Yeah, do you want to just pull me in and out, please?
Yeah, pull them out real quick. All right, I'll go through the chat. It's perfect time. Bounce him out for like 20 seconds. See if I can get him back on. Let's hit the chat here. Best chat in the goddamn game. The Real Deal Prime, a.k.a. The Grinder. Always here. Shout out to Real Deal Prime for all the support. Rob, P, Polly Walnuts, Peanuts. What's up, my guy? Rob up in here. Puzzler, a.k.a. Canas Cat. What's up, my guy? Kyle with the dono. We appreciate you, my man. Brian, how you doing? Mike M, Ron Lofton, great to see you. Mark Stella, Big 1051, James Little in here. Robert Major, good seeing you here, man. BT up in here, hell yeah, BT. Rodney Barton, Sam Comer, shout out Sam Comer, always on here supporting us. Bill McHugh, G Martinez, Bananas and Grapes, hell yeah. Luke Murphy. Check out Luke Murphy and all his books. Great author. Canadian author, Luke Murphy. Check him out. Preston Burke, MMA, Locker Room. Mills, what up, Mills? Kenny V up in here. Shout out to everybody. John Harmon, what's up? We got you back, Max?
Yeah.
He's back. Not in black, but in red. And we want to be in the black. Let's get to this first game here. Pennsylvania, Yale, Max, going right down the card here. Yale's laying 4.5, total 144.5, obviously high. All these Ivy League games tonight, it's like, which were the ones that are going to go over? Some of these are, and I bet you a few of them are to stay under. That was the question I was going through as I was going through these games last night, Max. But what do you like here, Penn, Yale, in this one?
Yeah, it's a battle of freaking first and second place in the conference. I think that we've seen this Princeton team, we've seen this Penn team have some brilliant performances from Jordan Dingle. That's going to be the front and foremost thing for this team tonight. I think that when you look at some of these other guys that you have on this roster, what is going to be necessary is good field goal defense, good perimeter defense, not letting your guy get beat without you being able to help defend. That's how Penn does a good job of keeping high octane offenses out of the paint and from scoring multiple possessions in a row. When you look at this Yale team from Azari, Swain, and freaking Gabadon, this is a guy that had a big game first time that these two teams played. The two of them were 12 for 12 combined from the free throw line. That is going to definitely be something that Penn has to deal with tonight, being able to guard without fouling. If they're able to do that, I think that they can get out to a good lead. I think that this is a team that's competent from the free throw line. And in a 1-2 in late February, mid-February, wherever you want to call it, there's no way that I'm going to take the home favorite with this number. If it was 2.5, then I would be looking at Yale. But at 4.5, it's all Penn all day.
Yeah, I don't trust Yale laying points in this spot, Max. I just don't do it. Total, I think's there. Obviously, like I just said, in these Ivy games, a lot of them do go over, but some of them just stay under these type totals around 145. So it should be interesting to see in that one. All right, let's get to this next one here, Max. Northern Kentucky versus Detroit here. Detroit's laying 1. This total's 136. Hit me with it. Do you like Northern Kentucky here?
Yeah, I think that it's a kind of obvious play in this situation. Northern Kentucky in conference has been elite. They have looked like a team that can really challenge for the title and for the bid to get to March Madness. And I just think at the end of the day, Antoine Davis is a wonderful talent. He's been a brilliant player scoring wise to watch during his collegiate career, but it hasn't led to winning. And even with Noah Waterman and Matt Johnson being able to give you double digits as a game, I think that the big thing that really hurts Detroit is not having Mahmoud Akek. If they don't have Akek, they don't have their best rebounder. They don't have their best complementary scorer. They don't have their best freaking on-ball defender. And that is where Detroit's been getting hurt. Don't get me wrong, Conor. They can score at the free throw line, but they're not going to get to the free throw line 30 times in a game versus Northern Kentucky. It's just not that type of team. Now, for Northern Kentucky, they need Sam Vincent to have a good game, not an off shooting game. I do think that there's a lot of 3-point shooting on this team if they want to go that route, but we've seen them at their best when they're rolling off screens and using off-ball movement to get other guys into positions to score. I think if Marquise Warwick is the X factor for Northern Kentucky tonight on the road, they go in, get some revenge, and they get out with a very nice win, probably by multiple buckets.
That's the key there, Max. The revenge. This was a bad loss kind of for Northern Kentucky, who have played well, like winners of 9 of 10. This loss, I know, is sticking with them. Detroit played well until Keck's been out. They bounced their last 2, look horrible. He's the key, too. If he's out, I really like Northern Kentucky even more. And it's a huge question mark. We don't know if he's going to go or not, or even what's wrong with him, supposedly. But if he's out, Northern Kentucky's the better team. They need a little revenge. So we'll see if it kicks in. Some people like if he plays like Detroit. But I would only be on Northern Kentucky here. And there's 1.5s, or just take a money line, get around even money in that one. All right, Max, let's go to the next one. It was interesting to me. You talked about this line movement earlier. I got it last night at 7.5. Still like it a little bit, still moving a bit. Ryder at Monmouth here. So you talked about it, 6.5. There's even a few 6s. This total's 136.5. What do you like here, Ryder Monmouth?
I think that the big matchup personnel-wise in this game is in the front court with Walker Miller against Ajiri Ogumeno-Johnson. If he can stop freaking Walker Miller from backing guys down, which is what he's done against smaller front court players and what he's going to see in freaking AOJ is a big thing for this team. I think that with Ryder, you do have a lot of positionless basketball that you can play. You do get a lot of help defense, and you get a lot of freaking good ball handling from Dwight Murray Jr. most of the time. I think that the key for this Ryder team is that they got to be able to hit a three. I think that stretches out their defense, their opponent's defense that much more to give them more driving lanes to slash, because that's what they are. They're a slashing team. When they can get to the free throw line, volume free throws, and I'm talking 26 to 30 times a game, that's when Ryder's at their best. When Ryder is winning the battle on the offensive glass, that's when they're at their best. And with Ryder being able to play that on-ball defense and really having that good help defense built into their scheme, I really think that this is a spot that Ryder can outright win, especially if Shavar Reynolds Jr. is out of the game.
Yeah, I think I like him even if he's in, but if he's out, we've seen it, Max. Monmouth just has trouble covering numbers, and they keep laying big numbers. That's why I grabbed it. I think it's too many points. And you're right. All I need Ryder is to hit a few shots. Just don't be ice cold. And I think they cover this game and are in it.
And I'll point this out, Conor. Cedric Altman Jr., the Pepperdine transfer, I think that he's getting back into the rotation, and that gives them a legitimate three-point shot or three-point shooter off the bench.
Yeah, if he could give good minutes and, knock a few trays for them, that'd be huge. Ryder playing a bit better basketball. I think the love is just too much for Monmouth, especially lately all year. And it's been tough for them. They've gotten some wins. The record's decent, but we'll see tonight. Should be a good one. All right, let's get to this next one, Max. Marist at Siena. Siena's only laying 1.5. They've been playing better basketball. I've took them a little bit as of late. It seems like a short number. They've owned them the last few years, but Marist playing better basketball this year. I've took them in the last few months a few times, and they've come through, but it's not been easy to go in and beat Siena. What do you like here, Marist Siena?
Yeah, listen, Conor, I think that obviously against the Siena team, they did have some problems scoring the basketball, but I do think that the offensive situation's a lot better right now than it was back then. I think that the best value right now is with the Marist team total. We've seen Siena games get high scoring early on. We've seen Siena games be high scoring because Siena's been offensively efficient. I think that with Jackson Storball on the offensive glass and Anthony Gaines and Jared Billups being able to score from the perimeter, that's going to give you what you need for Siena to do their part on the team total. But I think that with Marist, this is a hard spot to really resist. It's right on their threshold for me as far as my numbers. And I think that if they get a nice performance from the formerly suspended Raheem Sullivan from a part that I'm from, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, my fellow Canadian, Conor,
Ding.
I think that Marist could definitely put up enough points to get maybe into the 72.5 point range.
Okay.
I want over in this game. I want Marist team total over.
Interesting. I think the game's good. I mean, obviously these kids, they all know that they've gotten their ass whooped every time they go to Siena the last 7 years or whatever it is, or 8 years. So one of their better teams they've had. Yeah, and that's why this number's low. It's tempting for me just to take Siena. I don't know if I get to the window with it, but I lean them here. Tough one.
I will say this, Conor. Not having to deal with Jalen Pickett and Manny Camper for Siena is definitely a step in the right direction for the Red Fox.
Yeah, duly noted. All righty, let's get to this next one, Max. You talked about the line move here a little bit. Princeton, it went from 1.5 to basically 2.5 everywhere. This total, though, come down a little bit. It's 144 most places. There's a few 143.5s. What do you like here? Princeton get it done on the road? And what about the total here?
I think that this is one of the legitimate offenses in the Ivy League. We've seen Princeton be able to do it in conference and out of conference. I love the fact that my fellow Canadian from Mississauga, Ontario, Jalen Llewellyn, does take care of fucking running the point. And after the ass whooping that this team put on last time out, They didn't even play their starters more than 25 minutes. So I think that Princeton is freaking ready to go in this game. Brown gave them a fucking good fight last time out, but they were able to fucking bend them over and split them like a fucking rotten peach. I think that's what's going to happen again. This team can go deep. This team can go different looks, and they can play different tempo with a ton of freaking variety. I love how they play close to the basket with their freaking front court combo of TE and freaking Freiberg, but it's all about the guard play. And if Llewellyn has a nice scoring game and he facilitates, this could be a big win for Princeton.
Yeah, I'd only be on Princeton. I don't love the 2.5, but I think they can go in there and win. They've looked good as of late. And we'll see. This game goes over if Brown scores. It seems like Princeton, if they go with them and the game's close, it goes over. If they don't score or stay in the mid 60s, this will stay under, I think, on the total here. But I could only lean over at this number. All right, let's get to this one. Shout out to the chat, everyone in here. Colton, Sharpie, what up, my guy?
Oh, it's the BBW Slayer, the whale freaking harpooner. He's a mountain climber. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He said he's covering a 300-pounder tonight. Well done, my man.
What a guy. What a guy.
Mike Wilkerson, James Cowley, Jake Burns. Shout out to everybody. Nasty Nate, Nathan Cerna, good to see you. Jake Kaiser. Man, what's up? Eric Jones, Tori, what's up? JR, good to see you, my man. Shout out to you, Mark Schillenberg. Great to see you up in here, everybody. Hit the like button for us. It's Friday. I know everyone's like, these are only a few college basketball games. Get us to 100, goddammit. That's all we that I asked for. Max wants a few other things. That's all I asked for. All right, Max. St. Peter's, Fairfield here. This line's basically one. Pick 'em. Some places Fairfield's favored by a point. That's kind of flip flop. St. Peter's opened as a one and a half point favorite. This total's 125. What do you like here?
I think that this line is definitely a reaction to Fairfield's game against Manhattan and not being able to close the deal. Like a lot of dudes trying to lock down ladies of the night on the Las Vegas Strip. They get played, they don't get laid. And I just think that this is a spot where you have to look at the physicality that St. Peter's can bring and really make it uncomfortable to try and go inside against them. While their guards are never going to give you a ton of freaking wonder when it comes to their size, they do play competently enough. And there is a guy in the backcourt in Isaiah Dasher that I think that can be very useful and be the outlier tonight. This number does not make sense to me. I would have lined this game very differently, and it would have been with St. Pete's with a minus in front of their name. St. Pete's only full game under. Want it, love it, want to choke it like a goddamn chicken.
He's choking it. He's choking his chicken. Let's get to the next one.
Not my chicken.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was throwing that in. A chicken, not your chicken.
A bok chicken. Choke it.
Choke it.
And then make chicken tenders out of it.
And dip it in honey.
You know it, not honey mustard, Connor. Never honey mustard.
Alrighty then. Next, let's keep rolling here. Columbia, Harvard. Harvard's laying 15.5 basically everywhere here. Columbia, not very good basketball team. This total's right around 145, 145.5. What do you like here, Max? Columbia, Harvard.
Yeah, I think that we get a lot of overreactions to games, and after playing a game like you did, if you're Columbia, how do you not come back with a little bit of spine? I think that if Ike Nakui and freaking Liam Murphy are out of the lineup, it really hurts this team because that's their best on-ball defender, that's their best rebounder, that's their best inside the arc scorer. So you do take away a lot of Columbia's freaking fight. I think that the safest way to play a spread like this, where the odds makers are trying to tempt us with a 15 or 16 point spread, is to hit the team total if you can get under 82.5 with Harvard. That's the only way that I want to look at the game. Otherwise, I would take the first half over, but it's not something I bet either way on either yet.
Columbia is awful, but yeah, I'm not laying 16 with Harvard. Like you said, I'd look team total or deal with it. I bet you this is just a game they win by fucking 9 or some bullshit like that.
Yes,
In the Ivy League.
Harvard is definitely guilty of that stuff.
Yeah, it's like, god damn. Ivy League. All right, let's keep rolling here. Ohio versus Kent State, one of the better games. We're getting to a few good ones here, Max. This total has moved up, like you talked about, 3.5 points around there. There's some 137s, 138. Kent State now a 1.5, even at a few spots, 2-point favorite. What do you like here, Ohio, Kent State?
Yeah, I think that it's real interesting to see what Kent State's been trying to do over the last like 5 or 6 games with their lineup, really trying to catch their opponent at a disadvantage by being able to bring in certain players in certain situations, try and give Kent State that boost. We saw that last time out with Sincere Carey. You know, he didn't play the first 3 minutes of the game and then he didn't come off the floor. And we saw with a 23-point performance and being the reason why they won that game, it's a nice little strategy. But when you can show that you can go out on the road and keep a Toledo Rocket team to under 60 points, you know, that's the definition of defensively fucking with your eyes open. I think that I like the fact that Giovanni Santiago is definitely looking more confident with his shot. He does look like he is fully healthy right now. That's a big thing. I also like the fact that Andrew Garcia is just doing all those junkyard dog things that you need when you play MAC conference basketball. He's getting on the boards. He's being a real physical freaking barrier to get to the rim. Not necessarily giving you the block numbers, but I don't really give a fuck about that. I care about him being able to stay on the floor, be a threat in the offensive driver's side, and not getting into foul trouble. All things that he's been doing. Kent State is going to be tougher this time around for Ohio than they were before. However, it's Ohio with me. This is just a weight class that they're punching too high into.
You're right. Kent State playing such good basketball as of late. Good defense. Ohio just seems to take care of everybody else. You know, what are they? 22-4 on the year. So, and Kent State's one of those teams that they've kind of took care of, or this year and last year. Toledo, sorry, I was thinking that the 2 losses they have, just horrible losses. Toledo. Everyone else here, they seem to just pound Max in this conference. So we'll see if an upstart playing well Kent State team can get it done. The last one, Ohio won at home January 7th, 80-72. So, and that got over this total. I guess that's why this total has moved up 3.5, 4 points here. Alrighty, let's keep rolling. Let's roll to this one. I'm interested to what you have to say here. Richmond, VCU, like you talked about, this total, most everywhere, Max, it's 133.5. Few 134s, FanDuel. There's another spot here. I got to click up. I saw, and there's 3s, and there's even a few spots with 3.5s with VCU in this one. What do you like, Richmond, VCU?
Yeah, I think that Richmond has the opportunity to hang within the number because it's gone to that 3.5 point range. I think that's really how I look at the game. I think that this is really all about the number, and 3.5 means Richmond. If it was 3, it would be about VCU. I think from a first half perspective, that's where I think that the value lies from a side perspective. I think that when you look at how VCU can get started with Ace Baldwin leading that transition offense and being able to create those transition offense running opportunities with their on-ball hawking, I think that that's what's the big thing. You know, you got to make Tyler Burton, you got to make freaking Gilliard uncomfortable. If Gilliard's the one causing freaking havoc and freaking taking the ball away from you, Richmond's going to be leading this at halftime. So if VCU wants to win this game, you're going to see them leading at halftime. If Richmond's going to take care and make you regret betting against them at 3.5, then they're going to be up at halftime. It's a tough spot to get involved with either way on the side.
It is. I always love VCU in close games catching points, Max, and not laying points like this, even though I think they're the better team. Richmond playing better defensively as of late. Everyone's gone crazy. VCU's gone over, scored a lot lately. Some reason though, I'm alone. Everyone thinks this game, I think, goes over. I think it gets back into a rock fight, and this is the wrong way. I would only be on the under in this spot if you can get a 134. Richmond shot the ball bad their first meeting, 64-62. They just, when the game's on the line, this team struggles at times, Richmond. You know, I don't know. If they're hot shooting, Max, Richmond, it goes over. You're right. If you know, and the pace a little high and they make threes, it definitely gets over. But Richmond playing better defense. I think VCU beating up on those bad teams, scoring in the mid 70s lately, comes back to like their normal here. What do you think?
I just think that we saw high scoring early on in that game, and then there was a huge clampdown in the second half. I think that we see a similar thing right now. There's going to be a lot of emotion. Like, this is a big rivalry game for both schools and both teams knowing each other pretty extensively. So
Yeah.
I expect scoring, and then I expect really good halftime adjustments by two really good coaches in Rhodes and frickin' Mooney.
And just real quick, VCU has owned Richmond in this series. I think it's like 11-14 or something crazy like that. Especially lately, they've just beaten Richmond. So Richmond knows that though, for sure. All righty, Max, let's keep rolling here. Cornell, Dartmouth. This game is a pick'em. Most places, total 146. It's moved up. What do you like here, Cornell, Dartmouth?
Yeah, listen, I think that this is just two teams going in two different directions with Cornell's lack of rebounding, lack of three-point shooting. I do like frickin' Barry. I do like my fellow Canadian Aaron Ray from Markham, Ontario, but I just don't like them in this matchup at this number. Why isn't this number 3.5 for Dartmouth if they really think that Dartmouth has a shot at winning this game? I think Cornell's going to flex, and they're going to flex hard tonight.
Yeah, I think there's points as well in that one. All right, let's keep rolling. Missouri at Mississippi State. Mississippi State laying 11. There's some 11.5s out here, Max. This total's 134.5. Is this too many? Is this enough points for you to look at Missouri?
Listen, I want to do it. I want to badly. But I want to be able to trust that Missouri can keep Mississippi State off the free throw line. I want to know that Missouri can stop Iverson Molinar in the second half when it matters most. At the end of the day, this is a Mississippi State team that I don't really think should be favored by this much, but it's hard for me to go either way.
Me too. I don't think Mississippi State should be laying 11.5 here. If I had a free bet, I'd take Missouri in the points if I had to in this one. All right, let's keep rolling. Cleveland State, Milwaukee. Cleveland State's laying 6.5 on the road. Man, perfect number here. Can they win by 7 or more here on the road? This total's 138.5, 139. What do you like here?
Yeah, I think that with this Cleveland State team, I was worried about them having the full use of their roster. Demoy Hodge and Torrey Patton didn't play big minutes last time out, and I am worried about what their status is tonight. But by my numbers and by my freaking metrics, I think that this is a spot where Cleveland State can go wire to wire. It is that time in the season. They are coming off a bad overtime loss against Purdue Fort Wayne. And listen, they haven't been consistent. They have not been consistent. In this matchup, though, tonight, they have so many advantages from a rebounding, from a depth perspective, from a ball handler perspective. If they can fucking, for the love of God, make their second half free throws, then they should be able to win this game once again by double digits, even on freaking Milwaukee's home court. But it's a big ask when you watch this team shoot free throws in the second half.
No shit. And Milwaukee's kind of like, this team could get blown out at home. They can beat a Wright State at home, Max. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. They're Jekyll and Hyde right now also.
Total Jekyll and Hyde team. It's just difficult. This is one I just was a total stay off for me because tough to trust either one here. All right, let's get to the next one. Purdue Fort Wayne, 5.5 point favorites against Green Bay. This total's right around 132.5 here. Can Purdue Fort Wayne go on the road and cover this number?
Yes, I do. I think so. Listen, right. Purdue Fort Wayne is going to have the better guard play. They have very serviceable defensive playing front court guys that can get on the glass. By my numbers, they could have been a freaking 8 or 9 point favorite, and I still would have taken Purdue Fort Wayne. I think this is a game for them to really flex and really fucking lay down a beating on somebody, because their season's almost coming to an end, and those opportunities will come to an end as well.
Yeah, I lean Purdue Fort Wayne. I lean them with the 5.5. This is a good one, Max. Wright State at Oakland. Talk about a rising good game here. This they're favored by 4 here. This totals hasn't moved basically all day. It's right around 147, 147.5. What do you like here?
If we're gonna get points, I think they're gonna come in the second half. By the numbers, Oakland's a team I should be betting on their first half team total. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm thinking about. My big concern is, how is this Oakland team going to deal with Wright State on the offensive glass? Are they going to be able to play 3-point defense against them? And is Jalen Moore going to be able to get to the free throw line, hit free throws, and also be efficient inside scoring the basketball? So his drives open up so many scoring opportunities for other guys on this team, like Townsend and Micah Parrish, and of course Jamal Cain. Jamal Cain has a 35-point game, Connor. You can be damn sure that Oakland will cover this game again tonight. But they have had a rough time with the top of the Horizon League.
Yeah, and just 4.5 might not be easy. Shout out to Matty Ice. His tank play is Oakland money line, Purdue Fort Wayne money line. Yeah, take those teams just money line. They don't have to lay the 4 or 5 in both those games. Yeah, man, Wright State just doesn't play enough defense, but if they're hitting shots, I think they're in it. Man, that should be a good one. All right, Max, let's roll to our last game on the board. Maryland, 2.5 point favorites at Nebraska. This totals right around 145.5. There's some 146s. Can Nebraska get a home win here? Can they get it done?
This game disgusts me. Disgusts me.
I don't blame you.
If Nebraska's going to get a win, how can it not be this fucking game?
I agree.
Their home games, they made their backers money, but usually when they're a fucking 13 or 14 point underdog, and Maryland, when they're a favorite, it's usually like 4.5, so it's like there's a clear freaking understanding from the number that we're seeing that, this could be a game Maryland wins by 7 or 8, but this one, I don't know. I think that I may hate myself later for saying this with how Nebraska's perimeter defense and their interior defense specifically has been, but I may lean towards the home dog.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was looking at if I had to. It's just been tough backing Nebraska. And on the total, I'd lean over. I think it's set about right. This thing could just stay under, or if there's hot shooting, it goes over for sure. So I think the number's pretty good, but I'd lean over in that one. That's it, Max. We ripped through it on this Friday card. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Boom, 15 away. That's all we need. If you haven't hit the like button, give us the like button. What's up?
Oh, yeah, Fred, you got to get away from your wife, your girlfriend, your boss for 38 minutes. Hopefully you're on the clock while you're doing that. It's a good time. I feel like eating a cupcake right now, possibly some banana bread.
Banana bread. We'll switch up. It sounds good. Shout out to Tom Cooley. Trade Day. What's up, my guy? Patty Ice. Noli knows. Up in here. Tease. What's up, my guy? Roland G. Shout out to everybody for joining us. We appreciate it. Alrighty, Max, let's get to the games we want to bet. But first, let's get a word from our sponsors. Unreal. New commercials there.
I was like dancing to that. I was like, I didn't know when it was gonna end. I didn't want to get caught dancing on camera.
You guys liking?
Holy crap! I want to freaking buy that margarita for a couple ladies of the night. Damn.
Definitely. Yeah, commercials good. You know where to go. Southtown 101, San Antonio, best bar in town, hands down. Tell them we sent you there for sure. All right, go to mybookie.ag. You know the drill. Switch it over to Bitcoin. They match you with $1,000. Get that done. And last, go to manscaped.com. 20% off promo code PubSports. Get the Lawnmower 4.0, but don't stop there. Get the full kit. Got a flashlight. Use it in the shower. Ball deodorant. All the bullshit that comes with it. The whole kit and caboodle at manscaped.com. Great product. All right, Max. Tell me what you're on tonight, my guy.
Well, considering I choose the biggest trash games to freaking use as my best bet, I tried to class it up a little elitist, a little privilege. So I decided to go to the Ivy League, to little sluts that have a floor general from fucking the 905, and I'm talking the 905 west of Toronto, aka Mississauga, aka the breeding grounds for collegiate basketball players. Jalen Llewellyn is going to help me bring home the bag. Team total over 72.5 minus 104. Fuck with your eyes open, Princeton. Don't let me down. Otherwise, I'm sending you an invoice for my freaking pain and suffering.
Excellent, excellent. I think that gets there, Max. I think that is a great call. Calling it right now. Play that play for Maxwell Smart. You will win. Max, I just got to give this out. I've lost a point, but I took it last night at 7.5. Taking Ryder. I know it's 6.5 now, but I got to take it here. Last, Northern Kentucky. I don't want the 1.5. I get plus 105 right now. Give me Northern Kentucky. And lastly, I'm going against everyone. I'll probably lose. I don't give a shit. It's back to a grinder. Richmond, VCU, now that it's hit 134. Full game under. Stays under. All righty. That's it. We're out of here. He's the great Maxwell Smart. I'm Conor Mack. We're out of here. We be pumping! Peace!